to let you in on a little secret trick that Jake and I have. While everybody's focused over here, we're going to go over here and look for singles that are fantastic prices. This is great pickups that we covered on our last stream. We've got 3 different sets that we want to look at and recommend some cards that might need to be on your radar. If you give me just a second to thank our Patreon for helping us on our journey to do this as our full-time job, we'll be right back with great pickups for this month.
Highest level of gratitude to our patrons who power the channel through Patreon. Check out the Patreon link in the description to learn about monthly giveaways, VIP Discord access, and even our official playmat.
We're not looking at surge foils on these. We're looking at normal priced.
Okay, I haven't looked at it, so I'm going to guess if it's at the top, I'm going to guess it's at least $20.
Shadow in the Warp is available for $8.
Oh, 8. Oh, okay.
$8
wow.
is the
so a lot
most...
of these are very cheap.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I had to come here tonight and talk about great pickups because this Warhammer set is full of them. And look, we've talked about with these Universes Beyond sets, the reprintability is epically low.
Yeah.
Shadow in the Warp, $8. It won't be $8 forever. I don't know if it's going to get down into the 5 range, depending on where everybody else's money's going with all the crazy stuff that you can buy right now.
Yeah.
But Shadow in the Warp is such a playable card, y'all. I can't tell you how good this card is. First
Do
creature
not stick
spell.
your fingers in your eyes, though.
No, don't do that. You might see purple fangs. $8
don't do
for that one. This one, and they shall know no fear. 2 mana instant, indestructible for a creature type.
Yeah.
This is only a $6 card right now. That name, I don't even know if you can reprint this card outside of just keeping those Warhammer cards in stock. And that should be noted in this video where we talk about great single pickups. The hype for these out of the gate was insane because people thought they weren't going to be available. You can still go to Amazon today, June 21st, 2023, and buy these decks off Amazon for like $189.
For all of them?
Yes.
Gotcha.
These singles just keep getting lower right now. The reprintability is very low, and that's kind of where I'm at on this set because there's stuff in here that are actual reprints, Skull Clamp, Hardened Scales. These prices aren't the ones we're looking at. But the cards like Celestine the Living Saint, Flying Baby Sun Titan here.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are the cards that you will let 2-3 years go by without thinking about this set. And then you'll go, oh man, there was that perfect demon from that 40K set that I wanted. It was a big chonky boy. Oh yeah, Bloodthirster. How much is that card now? Oh, it's $25. Because it hasn't been reprinted since these came out in 22.
Can't be reprinted. Yeah.
This is one where I don't know. It's a question of IP, right? Where the crossover is.
I would really love to be able, and we will, in the future, we will look back, but it will take years
for sure
to look back and see what these actually do. Because, the variant era, or whatever you want to call it, started with Throne of Eldraine collectors when they brought us the deluxe collector's edition and the first iteration of collector boxes. And we still are not that far out from that. It's only been like, I guess, 3 or 4 years. And so, we have to see where this all goes, in 3 years, 5 years. What will Magic be like in 10 years? What will it have come to? Where will we be? Will it just be any card that isn't serialized is a nothing burger? We don't know.
No expensive cards that aren't surge foil stinky cards.
Yeah, exactly. Sticky foils.
If they're not sticky foils, I want them out of here.
Oh, Morrow did say on his blog, if they need to reprint any of these, they do reserve the right to do a universe version at any point in the future. Oh,
That's good.
but only Secret Layer exclusive Universes Beyond will have. Oh, interesting.
The specific art and specific names, because that's what I was going to say. Like the IP issue here. It's why on the Secret Layer cards from Stranger Things, they reprinted those in an actual set, you know, in a real, as I feel like Innistrad characters, if I'm not incorrect about that. But they didn't put the Secret Layer Stranger Things. They didn't put the Stranger Things characters, the kids' names were not on there because of because of the IP licensing contract and how all that worked. And so when you look at Blood for the Blood God, this is a $2.50 card right now, y'all. Instant speed. 8 creatures need to die, and you only cast this for 3 mana to draw 8, deal 8 to each opponent. Yeesh.
This is just something that you do in response to board wipe.
This is a $2.50 card. But this IP, Blood for the Blood God, how they reprint that is probably non-existent. They've probably just, and like Food Time is saying in chat in Mara's blog, he's talked about, they just go the route of, well, we'll also word it that we can make mechanically identical cards with a different name and just sell those on the side. I mean, look out for the 2026 set, Universes Within. And it's just a full reprint set of Universes Beyond cards, but as MTG IP. Telling me you wouldn't buy that? Everybody would buy that. But if you want Blood for the Blood God, that ever being reprinted again like that, Celestine, Gerson Starn, Shadow in the Warp, Bloodthirster. Is Bloodthirster a Warhammer IP thing? I don't know anything about Warhammer.
Probably, I would imagine. Yeah,
I would think so. It's not just a generic demon that they slapped into this set. I'm assuming that it is a Warhammer IP thing. Okay, cool. Thank you. The Warhammer 40k singles are on nobody's mind because this is a bottle rocket product that fired hard. Everybody had a shit ton of fun with it, and then the next thing came out, and everybody hard moved on. And with these Commander products, you see the crowd move on even harder because at least the standard and master sets go into modern, and they, you know, we talk about those cards forever if they break into constructed play. We're not talking about this product forever. All Commander players are ever talking about, and I'm speaking as one and a creator of content for them, the next thing. What's next? The next thing. What new commander? Oh, did you see the new commander card that got spoiled? Oh, did you see the face commanders for those precons? What's the next commanders? What's the next command? We're not really ever talking a ton about, man, let's go back to Warhammer Standard.
Yeah.
Because there's no seasons for commander. Maybe there should be. But I digress.
Yeah.
Warhammer 40k. This is kind of a generalized what to buy. The singles from this. The most expensive one is $8.27, and I'm telling you, this enchantment is that good. Is $8.27 good.
We were so absolutely dead on with this card. This was on our top pickups from this set. And you know, we don't really have time to watch a ton of, like, you know, other people's videos of their picks. So, you know, it's like, this is exactly what we expected. You know, the first creature spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. This is in red green, meaning if you're playing Mana Dorks, you can get this online as early as turn 2.
Even if you play this on turn 3, your 6 mana commander can now be played on turn 4, provided you've not missed a land drop.
It's just beautiful. It's beautiful, and it's the most pesky permanent type to deal with. So it's like,
skip commander tax once. Good point, Food Time. It can be looked at in a lot of different ways. Passive Ancient Tomb for no life. Passive Soul Ring on the battlefield that you don't have to tap, and provides you passive upside by dealing damage to opponents casting non-creature spells.
Yep. It's essentially like a 3-cost mana dork that, you know, isn't a creature. It just gives you 2 2 free mana.
I've played the
It's very
Warhammer
good.
decks 3 times. By played the Warhammer decks, I mean I played the Gruul one 3 times, the Tyrannid one 3 times, and Shadow in the Warp was my single favorite card that I cast that entire game. That card's just really good. The point is these singles, $8. Exalted Flamer. All my Exalted Flamers in chat say, hey. We got $7. I mean, the cards are cheap. This is definitely one of the ones to look at. The other one. Would you be shocked looking at Dominaria United? Let's go back to September of last year.
I forgot that this set exists.
I know everybody did. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna actually take a look at these
this
collector boxes.
9 months ago, chat. 9 months ago, we got Dominaria United. Timeless Lotuses at the time were selling for $20 plus. Jake and I said, wait till they're between 10 and 15. Can I show you the price of Timeless Lotus?
So
it's
this
$13.
box, yeah. Now this box does not have serialized cards, but it has Lost Legends cards, meaning stuff from Legends, in theory, as good as Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale or Moat, should be in this product. So like very old, minty, fresh versions of stuff should be in here, but no serialized cards. And these boxes are, God, I'm seeing some of these boxes as low as, this one's marked at $219, but it is on sale for $150. So I mean, that's pretty wild. But a lot of this stuff in this set is very cheap right now.
Very playable cards that were way too expensive. I mean, do you remember the pre-order prices on Shivan Devastator?
Or Devastator, yeah. I know, right?
Unbelievable. $25, $30, $40 I was seeing some people sell these for. Even the game day promo is only $23 now, and this is down to a $6 card for the extended version. And look, we're not knocking this card. I've played this card in Commander multiple times. It is fantastic. It can really be a clutch piece. Haste flying as much as you can pump into it, that can be a fantastic top deck late game, and I'm speaking from experience. But it wasn't $40 good. It was the first preview card case buy, so that's a great point. But I think people saw Dragon, Mythic, Shivan in the title, X in the casting cost, flying and haste. Mythic from heaven. And it just wasn't that. Plaza of Heroes, remember this being a $20, $25 card? And people going, is this going to go up? Should I buy one before it goes just up? $7. People asking me if they should sell theirs at 20, and I'm going, yes.
Price. I do like that. I do like that it held there.
Yeah.
That seems like a reasonable price.
It's a good, very playable card. Again, speaking from experience, people are like, you're really going to want to leave 3 mana up? No, but you know how often 3 mana can get left up in games?
It just gets left up sometimes. Right. It just gets left up. I think because there's so many different schools of thought on how Commander needs to be played, that have like people that are coming from a casual perspective. You have some people that are coming from a competitive perspective.
Right.
And so, yeah, you just have different takes on cards that are coming from all sorts of different perspectives based on different metas and stuff. And so you just have to say, is this card good for me? I do see some people say stuff like Temple of the False God is overhyped. And I have had sometimes where Temple of the False God is a card that is dead in my hand or doesn't activate. But I will say that it's typically rare.
Yeah,
but I can see how some things, it is always good to take different considerations into what people have to say and what you can learn from what they bring up. So.
That sounded like a good life tip. It's always important to hear what people have to say and think about what their perspective could mean in the context of whatever's happening.
Yeah,
I don't know how we got there, but we got there. Jake.
Somehow we got there, dude.
Talk to me. Just a little tangent. It happens. Talk to me about what price you think. What is your price memory of Liliana of the Veil? In your head, somebody goes, "What's a good price for a Liliana the Veil?"
$30.
$30. I know.
$30.
I'm talking about price memory, not what it's at. I just want to know. And chat, answer me too. What do you think is your price memory for Liliana of the Veil? Oh, you want 4 of that card? It's going to cost you X each. You say $30.
Well, I remember when it was massive, but like the last time I remember checking it was probably at like $30
And that
for
was
a
after
non-foil.
that was after DMU was printed. That's for this version.
The last time this card was on my mind, because I haven't played a lot of Modern, and it's typically a Modern card.
Right.
I know it's Pioneer legal now, but the last time it was on my mind was when we were talking about Dominaria United, and so I haven't even thought about the card in a minute. So
$13 nowadays.
Wow.
To get yourself a copy of Liliana of the Veil. This is, I had that, what you just said, Jake. Wow,
it must have just become fair. It's just like it's a fair card now.
It's a fair card now,
It's
and
just fair.
it was just reprinted in a set that provided it multiple versions. Look at the Dominaria United versions we've got. Base.
Wow.
Showcase.
Dude, you remember how much
2 different
I
stamped
freaked
ones
out when you opened the foil Liliana in 2017?
Yes.
2017 one, and it was like, oh my god, we hit Scalding Tarn foil Liliana. It was like the pack of a century. So now it is just like
$13, dude.
This for me is low risk on a card that if for some reason it were ever to break out in a big way in Pioneer, you would want to have this.
Some insane madness card gets printed or something.
Something like that, or some card comes out that really pushes. Like, for example, if they were to unban Deathrite Shaman or something crazy where this comes out early or something like that.
Right.
This to me is pretty low risk. I do think the card has been out for so long, though, that people just know what it's capable of. There's sometimes where Liliana is just a dead card, you know?
Sure.
Where it's
but
like,
right now, $56 will get you a play set.
Yeah.
And it was so wild to me when I was like, I definitely want to do an episode of Great Pickups tonight while we're streaming. I told Jake, and I was like, let's just do a clock turn back. I'm going to go through sets one by one until I get to ones where I'm like, okay, we really haven't talked about this set in a while. I didn't have to go that far back before. And then I also started finding cards. And this one in particular, I was like, I don't think there's going to be anything in the Dominaria United that we want to discuss, but I'll look at it. And I went, oh, Liliana the Veil was in that set. What are these now? $13. Ahooga! And I was just like, okay, well, we'll talk about this set tonight, because that card in particular just now being a $13 pickup. And then I started seeing
Paragon was pretty high too when it first came out.
That one, Leyline came up in the ranks. This one was real low out of the gate, but then people started identifying it as a really strong one, especially with dual 2 basic type lands just nuking this. Sarah Paragon is down to $10 for the extended $6 if you just want to pick up a copy.
It's a good card too.
And this one was one pre-ordering in the 20-30 range at some points. Timeless Lotus and Plaza of Heroes, these were the 2 that were like the most controversial financial opinions about at the time, being a $25 card at the time. Should I sell? Should I keep? It's a Lotus. Jake and Joel, what do we do? We said sell. We said don't keep on this base copy, and now here we are
at 25.
At 25.
What is it now?
$13.
Yeah. I mean, a Lotus, a lot of the time, you want it to be 0. You want it to be, very cheap. This does cost 5 to get to.
But it's got
does
the 5
have a
mana
banging ability.
Right, exactly.
It has a beautiful... what it does is amazing.
It's a Lotus, it's a mythic, it adds all 5. We always said this was going to be between 10 and 15 for the base copies, depending on how many copies there are above it. And with this one in particular, it wasn't one where we got, it was just a standard set that didn't get like March of the Machined out the wazoo. And so
or the Brothers War serialized.
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
This was just a straight up, here's a standard set. There's nothing crazy. It harkened to simpler time. I really hope Eldraine, and it doesn't make sense for Eldraine to be a simpler set because it's where the variant era started, and so it makes sense to be like, we're going back to where it all began. We're gonna open up 6. We have collector boosters featuring new sticky and stinky rares, and so it doesn't.
God, I really hope they make those sticky foils with some high gloss. I think they could really do it with that.
It doesn't make sense to get back to simpler times in that set. But Dominaria United was a little bit simpler, he said, as he scrolled up to the 18 versions of Shieldred. All right, so late addition to the episode of Great Pickups. We had wrapped this up, but here comes Isaiah De La Cerda with the hot, fresh information. And that is that, look at these. These are the Shocklands from Unfinity, the non-Galaxy foil versions, but still ridiculously cool looking, at least from the perspective of someone who really loves sci-fi. The most expensive one is Steam Vince, and it's only $33 nowadays. Not financial advice, but I didn't even know I was going to be looking at these, but now these are on my radar. These were so expensive they weren't on my radar.
The basics are nice too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. The basics from this are down to $1. They're not for every deck, but they are cool looking. And I could find a home for all 5 of them.
I like the foil versions of them.
Yes, dude. I bet in particular the foil planes of these looks not so. Oh, yeah. There we. Oh, dude. Good pickup. This is even more generically useful. This just looks.
No, this is the one that I was looking at on eBay. These ones that don't have the big graphic in the bottom middle.
Without the thing.
Without that. Yeah, so those of all of the different basics are all really nice. I like all of those.